Philosopher A.D. Jones. Hey. Well, I mean, we all see what's going on. Like, we literally all see what's going on. It's what's going on. And let me start out by saying nothing that I say is true. Entertainment purposes, you do what you want to do with the information. Is your brain. You are your own leader of your own mind. Unless you have one of those little pigeon brains and they, here, you want to hear a bell? Do this. Bing. Okay. You want more likes? Bing. Okay, do this. Okay, you want this? Bing. Yeah, that's pigeon brain. And it's a choice. It's literally a choice. It's a choice to be chosen. And if you choose to be chosen, choose your choice. You the one got to live with your choice to choose it. I don't really got a lot today, but I do have a valid question. This is from the universe. This is not me. So I'm just the messenger here to give you messages, ask you questions. That's it. So you empower yourself. Your power is your battery. You have to plug yourself into a battery. Okay. So anyway, I got a question. Universe actually got a question. It wants me to ask you this question. Individuals with a lot of digital assets, just period, whether it's your bank account, whether it's your stocks, your bonds, your gold, whatever. What is actually going to happen to your assets if, with all this stuff going on, the power grid go out? Like, the blackout again. It keep coming up. The universe keep having me bring you this. And it's actually a valid question when I thought about it. Like, what would happen? Everything go black. Your bank account black. Your assets is black. Everybody's is. So is everybody the same at that point? Or does the people at the top that control other things, which they put themselves in power to control it, they're in control of it. It is what it is. Whatever. It ain't bad or good. It is what it is. Do they lose their money too? Or do they got generators on their money to say, hey, our money's still there. We got a generator on our asset, so this computer will always run. Therefore, actually, it ain't even on the power grid. It's hooked up to some other batteries that's been solar charging and hydrogen charging and helio charging. So the assets that they have will always be intact, but some kind of way everybody else's is lost. I'm asking the question myself. Universe, I want to know too. You want me to ask them, but I want to know too. Entertainment purposes only. I want to know though. Like, are we all... Look, I grew up with not, like, moms did what she could do, but I remember growing up in the hood with nothing or close to nothing, surviving, that yellow envelope coming through every month, you know what I mean? Chasing down the mailman. It was go find the mailman. The mailman. Listen, it didn't matter what was going on in society. It didn't matter that we was wanted that envelope. We knew how to look at the calendars on the date. We knew how to look at the dates on the calendar because we knew we didn't even use an X. We remember, okay, we got these many days till we could eat. Like, eat good. We ate food. So, you know. I ain't gonna get into that government cheese because that government cheese was good. I ain't gonna lie. Not saying you should want government cheese, but the experience of eating government cheese, it was like, I remember the side, it said 100% pasteurized cheese. It was like the block was a block. You could really exercise with that block as a kid. But that block, where the block at? Like, y'all talking about y'all on the block, moving blocks. We was in the house with that cheese block. And you had to be an artist to be able to use a fillet knife before you knew what a fillet knife was and cut a nice little even thin slice. I could never cut it even. It always curved out. Like it always was thin at the top. Some kind of way at the bottom it got thin. Every time. I don't know how that happened. And then I had to cut the little thin parts off and use that for the little pieces that we made with flour. Had the little thin it around. The thick part you had to recut, like turn it sideways and like recut in half, and then, yeah. Because if you put too much cheese, like the thick, it would melt. We used to put it under the broiler, under the bottom, 20 minutes. Still ain't melted. The fire right there on it. How you not melt it? Like how? But you know what though? When you pull him out, no matter how hard that crust was or how nasty that crust was, when you, boy, listen, you get that cheese with that crust, woo. And if we had any tomato sauce, bro, I do not desire to eat that again. I don't even eat like that. But as a kid, so, well, I'm going to just say as a kid eating school lunches, because mom did what she could do. As a kid eating school lunches and what she, you know, what we was provided by grandma and moms, in between when it got hard, I'm going to just be nice. When it got hard, that cheese and the wick man, that got us through 100. Orange juice gone, and the orange juice probably lasts a couple hours max. And the only reason why it lasted because gotta let the girls have their little juice, the babies gotta have their little juice. But you know, I got my nice cup. But my thing is though, we never had our electric cut off though when we was little like that. Our electric ain't get cut off over our house. Now other people's houses we was at, yes, but that's a different story. But growing up where I grew up at, we didn't have to pay gas and electric. And we wasn't cold because we was hot because we had them old gas, them old water, them heaters with the water in the steam heaters. Man, them you had to open the window, them would get so hot. Woo, them think you about to slide up and get, ooh, burn yourself. Yeah, a real burn. 100. Those are the kids come to school all the time with burns and wets from getting whoopings, from getting burnt. That was some good times, but anyway. What's the point? We didn't have to pay gas, electric, so our gas and electric never was off. We never had a blackout, except for when a couple of times, I ain't gonna tell it on here, something happened and stuff went out, but I ain't gonna say it on this. What's the point? The point is, I've been in hurricanes, in tropicals. I done been in like 4 hurricanes now. I done been in like, I can't in 2 or 3 tropical storms, whatever. But the point is, I've been in a hurricane and the electric was off, and I know what that's like. Have you ever made love in the middle of a hurricane? Man, oh, anyway, my bad. I mean, anyway, boy. Anyway, like I was saying, the electric was off. So if you ain't charged your stuff, or you got a battery, or if you ain't like already prepped for that stuff, it could shock your mind. It could shock your heart. And if you grew up not being into that, you don't know. Like we grew up being in Boy Scouts and being able to be outside all the time. We learned that stuff. With these computers, it could be by design, or it could be just your parents is not good parents. And what I mean by not good parents, diverse enough, they might not have had the experience. But I'm gonna just say privy. Let's say that. They're not privy enough to understand that you might need those kind of skills. You could even watch it on YouTube now to learn what to do, how to start a fire, all that kind of stuff. It's there. The thing about this game, the rules is gonna always change. Let me explain to you. The higher, it's like playing one of the famous games where the guy jumping over the barrels. It just gonna keep getting harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. Some people beat the game, some people score high scores, some people fail, some people just navigate the game, some people play the game and like the game. Some, you know, it's the game. It's gonna get harder and harder until the game ends. And really, it's only one way for it to end, and is for you to expire off the game. Everybody expires off the game. Now, some people might take consciousness out of this person. Nothing that I say is true. And put it in this person, all them, them videos they got out and all that stuff. Do you believe that? It's up to you to believe that. I don't necessarily believe or not believe it, but it's possible. I'm not there to see what they doing. I didn't see them take this out of this, so I can't have an opinion on it. I don't have an opinion. Why would I believe something that I don't have no knowledge on? That's like believing in a God that I don't have no knowledge on, or I ain't seen, or ain't did nothing for me, or say they was coming and never came, never showed up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not there to see if they cloning or whatever you say. I don't know. But what I do know is if you actually do the research, back in the 80s and the 90s, I remember the first article where they was cloning ears, growing ears on rats and ears on pigs and pig ears on this. And I remember them early stages of that. So I do remember them cloning that. I'm quite sure that the technology has formed and morphed to clone other things. Duh. But I personally have not seen it. So I don't know who a clone and who not. I'm not even going to waste time trying to think about it. Wasted time. Can I jump on that for a minute? Can I jump on that for a minute? Okay. Time. The universe is allowing me to express to you the perspective of time. You have your own perspective. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But the perspective that I'm bringing forth is time does actually exist. You hear a lot of people say, time doesn't exist. Time, it does. Then go to work tomorrow and tell them the time don't exist. And they're going to have you literally clock out. If you clocked in, they're going to say, use that time that don't exist to clock out. You're done. Or use your PTO. What is PTO? PTO is accrued time that you can cash in, which shows your time has value. I'm going to say that one more time. And I know it's going to be repeated and regurgitated, but you already know, if you don't reference the things that the universe give me to give you, we've already discussed what happens. So it's just karma for theft. That's all. It is what it is. But if you had a job where you could actually have or accrue PTO, which is called paid time off, that means your time that does exist has value. You might be being tricked, hornswoggled, flipped, making you think wrong. I don't know. But what the universe is telling me to tell you, that if you have PTO, how can you say time don't exist? It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Quantum physics. It takes time for something. If I hit a wave here, boop, and it's that takes a certain amount of increments of molecules to flow through the molecular structures that has resistance of trying to hold it back, but the forces that are moving it forward into quantum realm, allow it to move to the destination at a certain speed, which is time, to hit the destination at a certain time, and to come back. Henceforth, a pendulum, yank, yank. If time didn't exist, it would say, and it'll be all at the same time. It'll be all the dimensions, all the movements, all at the same time, and you'll be able to see them all at once. That's not happening. Which means the density of this planet, the magnetic fields that are holding the molecules together, because what Earth is holding the molecules together, we call it gravity. It's just saying the stuff that's holding the molecules together, that's pulling stuff down to anchor. It's the anchor. It's the anchor. It's measured by time. Sun up, sun down. Time. If time didn't exist, why did they create the sundial? They literally created the sundial to know what time it was, or how many hours or horuses or of daylight is left. Of what? Daylight. What is daylight? Daylight is measured by time. The what? Sun, which is a star, which is in the sky. What is a star? A star has to be created by an explosion, an inner explosion, outer explosion. You have all the different dwarfs, the red dwarfs and all that when it's about to die, blah, 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 blah. All those, our sun is going to expire at a certain amount of time, which could be billions of years. It's still time, y'all. So who is this telling y'all that time don't exist? You say time don't exist, but you looking at your phone right now. Look up in the corner. What time is it? Yeah, how many hours do you got left before you got to go get yourself and your kids together to go to work? Go where? To work. How long you got to be at work? A certain amount of time. Or you don't get paid. If you short on your time, you get paid less because you didn't spend enough time. Time exists. It's the measurement of it. Now, if you say the measurement of time shouldn't be equated into money, okay. Well, time has value, so why not? Money has value. So is time finite? See, that's the actual question. Is time finite? Do we ever run out of time? That's the question. Because time is actually tangible. But it's only tangible in the moment that is not tangible, which is as soon as you recognize the time, which is the look theory. I ain't got to go into the electrons when you shoot the light and you see all the little dots, and you only, if you don't look at them, they don't appear. But if you look at them, they appear. Of course, time. If time didn't exist, all the dots would be on there at the same amount of, come on, y'all. Like, who is educating you? They're even saying there's different dimensions. Dimensions are based on light years and density of light to get to that dimension, as well as the vibration that it takes to get to that dimension. To vibrate takes time. To go this way takes a certain amount of time. To go this way takes a certain amount of time. And if you're doing this, you're vibrating. I'm vibrating at a lower level pace. But imagine this times a million. It still takes time to vibrate. The vibration is the result of time from moving this way to this way. So the people that's telling you time don't exist, you might want to reevaluate what you're deciphering. And if you say time don't exist, 1919, I'm just asking you, is that a subliminal message to you saying, I got all the time in the world? And technically you do, because all the time in the world that you have is the time that you got in the world, which is a certain amount of time. We all are going to expire. It's just what it is. I've lived a long time. Like, I don't really, at this point, at this point, I know it's coming. Like, so what? It's inevitable. So what? The days you get that you ain't like messed up, hooray. The days you got to muddle through, tough days, hooray. Guess what? You going to have tough days. You going to have bad days. They coming. Every day not going to be the best. Every day not going to be good. And you going to have some medium days in between. That's just the reality. Regardless of how much money you got, you still going to get diarrhea. No matter how much money you got, you still going to get a hangover if you drink. No matter how much money you got, somebody going to say something bad to you. No matter how much money you got to go poop on the toilet. Everything else is internal. Everything else is projection, internal, and bloodline. What is bloodline? One of the things, I'm going to say this. Reading is not illegal yet. I'm going to say that one more time. Reading is not illegal yet, but the more you watch these, the less you can read. I'm going to just leave that right there. The more you watch these, the less you have time to read. Cognitively, they're not the same. They're not the same. Cognitively, your brain is not going to develop the same. It's your choice to read or not. Reading is not illegal yet. So, whatever. I'm going to get to these predictions before time is up. Do I even have any predictions? I really don't have no predictions other than the stuff I've already... You got any predictions? Anything else you want me to tell them? Oh. Well, individuals' health. Individuals' health. If you're not a healthy person, it might be a good idea to start caring for yourself. You're going to need that health. Them reserves. You're going to need them reserves. You're going to need them reserves. Actually, I did have one thing. Can I tell them that? All right. I do got one thing. We got 8 minutes, 7 minutes, some change. I do got one thing. Oh, I did not watch the Coliseum. I ain't watched no part. I didn't listen to none of it. All I hear is people's opinions and what they opinions was, and they watched it 4 or 5 times, which is what they wanted you to do anyway. You digesting it 4 or 5 times. Good job. Y'all did y'all thing. Whoever created the whole thing, y'all did y'all thing. It's just what it is. And it's not even a battle at this point. It's really what it is, man. And it's to a point where the blind gonna lead the blind. The blind gonna lead the blind. It's just like the zombies, man. It's just like they just walk together. And when they hear a loud noise, boom, they see somebody twerking, hey, the whole crowd, whoosh. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a headline, boom, this person did this, they scored this, or it's this person with beef. This person took from this place and put in this place, and we want you to pay attention to this. It has no relevance. And then it's beef. It has really no relevance, with the exception of taking up space, which is a choice. Listen, I applied the whole thing because it's really genius. So I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. Like, I see. Listen, It's freaking genius. Whoever thought of putting this whole thing together, I know it took time, but it's technically genius. The only thing though is you're not that smart. So it has to be harnessed from an energy source. And I got an idea. And listen, I respect it all. Do I like it? No. Do I understand it? Yes. Do I hate it? It's actually interesting. Like, to be honest, like, it's like as a therapist, I teach a lot of people different things, and you assist them with different things, and you see deficits and you assist. You can't make nobody do nothing. I will never try to make nobody do crap. You either do it or you don't, and there's consequences. It is what it is. Your choice is your choice. Sometimes it's a forced choice. Do you want an orange or an apple? Either one, you eating fruit. Either one, you're putting something in your mouth and you can't scream and holler. Your hands are busy peeling or holding, and your focus is on this apple. That means you're not beating up no other kids. So the forced choices that you get allows you to be pacified with the apple or orange as a kid in school. I'm just saying. Like, it's definitely genius. It's very scientific. Very scientific. The invisible hand moves a little different now. The actual invisible hand now is in communities. It's expanded its reach outside of the macro economy, and it's now in the micro economy, which they've learned feeds, which they know it feeds the macro economy. You can't have a macro economy without a micro economy. And the people in a micro economy have power. If they use the power in the micro economy, it can control the macro economy. That's economics. That's just literally economics. Who controls the economy, micro economy controls the macro economy, which control the world. He who has the gold controls the world. So is that why they went and checked on that gold? I mean, I am living in a country, and I would want to know if it's there, because that's the country's gold, right? The people's gold, right? But what you gonna do when the lights go out and your gold gone and your assets and everything gone, and ain't nobody got zippity doo dah? It's like everybody's even. Do you still fight amongst each other? Or do we wonder who cut the lights out? Is that it? All right, that's just word from God, the universe. Is Sunday, so you could consider this your church, your worship, whatever you do, or just somebody talking. This is just a perspective, entertainment purposes. You know, no weight either way. But it is weight one way though. It's most definitely weight one way. I'm just remind you, we not believing in no man. We not believing in no politics. We believe in God. And you already know. That being said, till next time, Philosopher 80 Jones, the God Creator. It's your brain. It ain't illegal to use it yet. Yet.